You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, B&B fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we need to talk about Dr. John Finnegan's bizarre behavior, his new obsession, and the wrong path he is headed down on the CBS soap opera. I'm pretty worried that the dark road he's on is showing his Sheila Carter DNA that may be rearing its ugly head. Before we dig into 5 warning signs that Finn's turning into his awful bio mom Sheila, please click subscribe if you haven't already and help support the channel. We appreciate it. All right, number 1, first warning sign. Finn says one thing, then he does another. One thing about Sheila Carter is that she talks a good game. She insists she's changed. She's not violent. You know, she's totally remade herself now that she has gotten out of jail, all that blah, blah. But when push comes to shove, Sheila always does what she wants despite having made promises to do better. Similarly, Finn says one thing to Steffy Forrester, his wife, and then he goes and does the exact opposite, betraying her trust. In this case, when Finn dredged up all of Xander's accusations, Steffy told him the truth. Since she's one who knows the full truth, rather than believing Steffy, though, and respecting her wishes to drop this painful issue, Finn basically lied to her. She asked him to drop it, and he kind of nodded, and then he hugged her. But as soon as she left, he texted Hope and then started dredging it up with her and smack talking Thomas. Finn should have talked things through with Steffy, and bottom line, should have trusted that she and the police, had thoroughly investigated things. I mean, she didn't investigate it, but she knew about the investigation. She told him all that. Does Finn now think that he is not only a doctor who does like every single thing that doctors in the hospitals do, even though that's not how doctors operate in real life, but is he now also a low-rent private investigator like Bill and Ridge? I mean, we know how well that worked out, right? All right, number 2. Finn kind of seems unsympathetic to the pain of others lately. As a healer, you'd expect compassion from Dr. Finnegan, but I'm just not seeing it right now. And one thing about Sheila as a sociopath, we know she doesn't care about the pain of others. She only cares about what she wants and her own feelings. And Finn is showing some disturbing traits, including apathy towards some people's pain. For starters, he is completely ignoring Steffy's pain, the pain of his wife, whom he claims to love and whom he and Xander are actively hurting. Let's be clear, Xander is no saint. He was neck deep in that baby Beth lie, and he deserved to be fired. He was someone who could have saved Steffy a lot of pain if he had told the truth, but he sat on the truth for quite a while before Thomas found it out. Yet Xander's trying to villainize Thomas, and to be clear, Thomas was villainous himself back then. I don't think he is anymore, but Xander is no hero in this situation. And by giving all this oxygen to Xander's very selfish accusations and dredging it all up, Finn is hurting his wife. And he knows he is because Steffy told him how much pain this caused her then and how much it's causing her now by it coming up out of nowhere. There's no new information. It's just same old, and Steffy asked him to stop it because it hurts. But Finn seems to care more about this idea he has that he needs to protect Hope than he does about, protecting his own wife. He's clearly demonstrated that, and that's the sort of awful behavior that Sheila Carter engages in. She decides whose pain matters and appoints herself the decision maker about who should be hurt and who deserves her concern, and Finn seems headed in that same horrible direction. Number 3, Finn is doing a behavioral 180 degrees. Do you remember Finn said back earlier in 2023, he could see the hard work Thomas had done, and he agreed that he was a changed person. Plus, Finn knows that Thomas suffered a psychological break due to a verified, confirmed medical condition. It was a very serious brain bleed. Finn knows about this because he's the one who operated on him and saved Thomas's life. And he knows after that, Thomas devoted himself to intensive psychotherapy, and not with Taylor, with like a real doctor that did the work. And he put these issues behind him. Finn and Steffy had several very positive conversations about the big changes that Thomas made. And now Finn has done this U-turn and he's turned into someone it's hard to recognize. I saw a really, really funny video meme, little GIF meme over on Twitter, and it basically said Finn's gonna pull off one mask and there's Xander, and pull off a second mask and there's Liam under it. Very Scooby-Doo. That is what it feels like though, you know? I mean, it sounds like that Finn is channeling Brooke and Liam's inner dialogue and their inner dialogue and their most dire accusations. And Finn just, to me, feels right now like he's being kind of a Jekyll and Hyde. It's very sketchy, and that's a red flag anyway, but especially because his biological mother is such a monster. And let's not forget, the woman who raised him, Finn's adoptive mom, Lee, is pretty ruthless too. So even if you believe nurture over nature, Lee's kind of nutty herself and can be very extreme. Bottom line, doctors know people can be healed and cured both physically and mentally. But these days, Finn does not sound much like a compassionate healer to me. Of course, that's not Finn's fault. He's a character. It is bad writing, by the way. Let me say it one more time. Really bad writing on the part of B&B staff who don't respect character history and behavioral continuity, because this is all very out of character for Finn, and they're doing it for a reason, and I believe that reason is to pry that door in their marriage wide open for Liam Spencer to walk through it. They are crapping on Finn to prop up Liam. All right, number 4, the fourth warning sign. Finn is getting ready to stalk and behave obsessively from what I'm hearing. So another sign, red flag, that Finn is on this dark path like Sheila's, is some of the things he's saying lately that to me, to my hearing, are literally insane. He told Hope she can't be with Thomas, as if that's something he gets to decide and not an insane declaration. He's not her family. He's not her brother. He's not her man. It's none of his beeswax who she's with, and he doesn't get to tell her to dump him. That's literal crazy talk. And as he did with Steffy, Finn completely dismissed Hope when she, said she knows all this already and it's all been done, dusted, looked into. Finn met a stranger with a shady backstory with the Forresters for about 15 minutes and is taking what this rando to him, Xander, said as gospel. And he's ignoring the statements of people who lived through it and were closely involved, including Hope and Steffy. And to me, all that's crazy behavior too. Finn seems to be playing God, and I don't think anybody wants to see this. I don't know. Maybe there's 3 fans out there that think what he's doing is okay. It's not okay. Even if you don't like Thomas, what Finn's doing now is just not okay. Finn then goes on to, tell Hope all the other things that he assumed about her. And he sounds like an echo of Brooke, talking about Hope is rebelling, going through a bad boy phase by hooking up with Thomas. Maybe there's one more mask. Maybe under the Finn mask, maybe it's Liam and then it's Brooke and then it's Xander. Or vice versa. It's insane. And told her to walk away from Thomas. And then when Thomas stopped by to talk, Finn made the insane statement that as long as he lives and breathes, Thomas won't be with Hope. Remember how Sheila likes to lurk and stalk Finn? I expect her son's about to start doing that with Hope. I mean, he thinks he has to protect Hope and said Thomas can't be with her. So that seems like he's going to take some drastic action that is inappropriate. Another red flag of psycho Sheila syndrome. The fifth and final warning sign is that Finn is wasting a fresh start. Sheila got a fresh start several times and squandered them all by acting badly and getting in trouble yet again. Remember, Finn just got 2 fresh starts. The first one was after hugging and bonding with psycho Sheila, and the second one was about him almost drowning Steffi's daughter, Kelly Spencer. Steffy walked out on Finn over the Sheila thing. I mean, he can't help who his mom is, but he can help showing her affection and hugging on her in public. And of course, Liam was a dirty dog for videoing it, but it was still all true. And then he almost let Kelly drown because of his negligence. So even worse, psycho Sheila had to drag Kelly out of the surf because of Finn's horrible step-parenting behavior. That kid absolutely could have died on his watch. And then Finn made all sorts of promises and Steffy came home. And yes, Finn has avoided Sheila since then, as he said he would, but that doesn't really help if he's turning into Sheila Carter right before our very eyes. After the borderline obsessive and controlling things that Finn said to Hope, she came back to the office and told Steffy everything that Finn said. Steffy is stunned. She was apologetic to Hope. She feels betrayed. She's angry. I can't even imagine what she's going to say to Finn. And Finn's not going to stop. He's not going to stop any of this. So here he is again, wasting that fresh start that Steffy gave him, putting his marriage at risk intentionally and knowingly, all because he decided to believe some random guy he doesn't even know over his wife. And it's not Finn's place to appoint himself as Hope's savior and guardian. Steffy is not going to put up with this for long, and I don't blame her one bit. That's it. Click subscribe if you haven't already and let me know what you guys think. Is Finn turning into psycho Sheila? Is her devilish DNA peeking out from underneath that doctor's lab coat? Do you think Finn is in the right or wrong? Drop your comments below and come back soon because we're here talking B&B every single day. And this is Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.